The ladder was never built for you to climb. Welcome to Soft Girl Era, the sacred space where strong Black women unlearn survival, rediscover softness, and reclaim the joy, rest, and freedom they deserve. I'm your host, LeAnne Dolce, pronounced Dolce, like sweet softness whispered in French. And I'm your guide from burnout to boundaries, from doing to being, from strong to soft, and loving every second of it. Today, I had the profound honor of sitting down with Yvette Dowell, a visionary leader who's dedicated her life to dismantling barriers and creating pathways for Black women in leadership. Yvette's work isn't just about corporate advancement, it's about spiritual, emotional, and economic liberation. She's helping us see what's really happening behind the curtain of ambition, and what she shared with me will shake everything you thought you knew about climbing the ladder. Yvette is out here changing lives, opening doors, and rewriting the rules for a generation of Black women who've been told to wait their turn. Her insights aren't just research, they're revelation. So let me ask you something. When you hear that women, especially Black women, are less interested in promotions than ever before, what's your first thought? Do you think we've lost our drive, that we're giving up, that we're not ambitious enough anymore? Here's the truth Yvette helped me see, and it's going to flip your entire perspective. Black women are not less ambitious. We are more realistic. And that realism, that clarity, that refusal to keep breaking ourselves for broken systems, that's not defeat. That's wisdom. That's survival turning into strategy. That's the soft girl era in action. For the first time in 2025, women report lower interest in promotions than men. 80% of women compared to 86% of men. And when you dig deeper, when you look at Black women specifically, the numbers tell a story that's been whispered in break rooms, vented about in group chats, cried over in cars after work, and prayed over in quiet moments when nobody's watching. We're not walking away from ambition. We're walking away from systems that were never built for us to win. Let me break this down because this is where it gets real. Yvette shared research from McKinsey's Women in the Workplace report that reveals what they call the broken rung. Black women are promoted to manager at just 74% the rate of men. 74%. Let that sink in. We show up, we perform, we exceed expectations, and still we're promoted at three quarters the rate of our male counterparts. And by the time you get to the C suite, women of color make up only 7% of leadership. 7%. Despite the fact that we show up strong at entry level positions, despite the degrees hanging on our walls, despite the late nights, the missed family dinners, the sacrifices we've made, despite carrying entire teams on our backs, the ladder is missing rungs. And we're expected to leap across gaps that were designed to make us fall. Now, here's where it gets even more real, and I need you to stay with me because this part hurts. In 2025, Black women lost over 300,000 jobs. 300,000. Our unemployment rate sits at 7.5%, but the real rate, when you factor in underemployment and those who've stopped looking altogether, is closer to 10%. We're earning 66 cents on the dollar compared to white men. 66 cents, not 80, not 90, 66. And in industries like hospitality, Black women hold just 2.1% of director to CEO roles. 2.1%. So when we say we're less interested in promotions, what we're really saying is this: we see you, we see the game. And we're choosing not to play by rules that were rigged from the start. Because here's what nobody wants to talk about: the stress, the scrutiny, the isolation, the burnout that comes with climbing a ladder where every rung feels like it might snap beneath your feet, the job insecurity that makes you feel like you're one mistake away from being replaced, the emotional labor of being the only one in the room who looks like you, sounds like you, understands the weight you carry. That's not a promotion. That's a trap dressed up as opportunity. Yvette introduced me to three women whose stories embody this truth. Women who didn't just survive the broken ladder, they redefined what leadership looks like. and their journeys are a roadmap for every Black woman listening who's tired of grinding and ready to start grounding. Let's talk about Ursula Burns. Ursula became the first Black woman CEO of a Fortune 500 company when she took the helm at Xerox in 2009. Think about that. The first in 2009, not 1950, not 1970, 2009. She started as an intern at Xerox in 1980. 1980. She spent decades navigating a white male dominated tech industry that questioned her every move, doubted her every decision, scrutinized her every success. She faced the promotion gaps we're still facing today. She dealt with the bias, the isolation, the weight of being the first, which means you're carrying not just your own dreams, but the dreams of every Black woman who's watching you, hoping you make it so they can believe they can too. But Ursula didn't just break through. She leveraged mentorship. She built bold networks. She used performance data to silence the doubters. She advocated for inclusive policies that opened doors for others, not just herself. She led Xerox through a turnaround, proving that Black women don't just belong in C suites, we excel there. Her legacy inspired corporate diversity efforts that are still influencing pipelines today, still opening doors, still making space. Ursula didn't wait for permission. She took up space and made room for the rest of us. Then there's Rosalind Brewer. Rosalind climbed from Sam's club executive to CEO of Walgreens Boots Alliance, becoming the first Black woman to lead that company. She also served as COO of Starbucks, first Black woman there too. Rosalind faced the same wage disparities we're talking about, the same underrepresentation, the same job losses that hit Black women hardest in 2025, the same economic exclusion that makes us feel like we're running twice as fast just to stay in place. But she built coalitions. She prioritized diversity, equity, and inclusion, not as buzzwords, not as corporate jargon, but as business strategy. She scaled operations through data driven inclusivity because she understood that when you make space for everyone, everyone wins. And even though she exited Walgreens amid industry shifts, her impact remains. She paved the way for Black women in retail C suites and showed us that visibility matters, that representation isn't just symbolic, it's survival, it's proof, it's permission for the next generation to dream bigger. And then there's Melody Hobson. Melody is co CEO of Ariel Investments and the first Black woman to chair Disney's board. The first, again. She joined Ariel in her 20s and built a career in finance, one of the most male dominated, gatekeeping, old boys club industries in the world. She manages over $20 billion in assets. 20 billion? Melody focused on long-term investing, mentorship programs, and visibility. She didn't just climb the ladder, she built her own. And in doing so, she advanced Black wealth building, challenged the exclusion that keeps us locked out of financial leadership, and created pathways for others to follow. These three women, Ursula, Rosalind, Melody, they didn't just survive the broken rung, they shattered it. They took hammers to it. They refused to accept the limitations placed on them and they rewrote the rules. But here's what Yvette wants us to understand, and this is critical. Their success doesn't mean the system is fixed. It means they were exceptional enough to break through a system designed to keep them out. And the question we have to ask ourselves is this: do we keep trying to be exceptional in broken systems, or do we build new ones? Do we keep exhausting ourselves trying to prove we belong in spaces that were never designed for us, or do we create our own spaces where we don't have to prove anything? Because here's the thing: the declining interest in promotions isn't about giving up, it's about waking up. It's about recognizing that burnout, job insecurity, and scrutiny in senior roles aren't worth the title. It's about understanding that the stress and instability of climbing a ladder with missing rungs isn't a failure of ambition. It's a failure of the ladder itself. Yvette calls this realism over ambition. And I call it the soft girl era. It's the moment when we stop performing strength and start protecting peace. It's when we stop saying yes to everything and start saying no without guilt. It's when we stop breaking ourselves for systems that don't value us and start building empires that do. So, what does this mean for you? It means you have permission. Permission to stop chasing promotions that come with more work and less support. Permission to pivot toward entrepreneurship, toward building your own table instead of waiting for a seat at theirs. Permission to redefine what leadership looks like in your life. Maybe it's not a corner office. Maybe it's a thriving business. Maybe it's a community you're building. Maybe it's the peace you're protecting. Maybe it's the joy you're reclaiming. Maybe it's the rest you're finally allowing yourself to have without apology. Yvette's work reminds us that economic exclusion is accelerating, but so is our awareness. We're not naive anymore. We're not waiting for systems to save us. We're saving ourselves. And that starts with one bold move, one network connection, one boundary, one decision to choose yourself over a system that was never built to choose you. Let me leave you with this. What if the ladder you've been trying to climb was never meant to hold your weight? What if the real leadership move isn't climbing higher, but building differently? What if softness, rest, and realism aren't the opposite of ambition, but the foundation of it? What if everything you've been taught about success has been a lie designed to keep you running in place? Yvette Dowell's insights aren't just data points, they're a call to action, a call to stop surviving and start thriving, a call to release the cape, redefine strength, and embrace the softness that's been waiting for you all along. So here's my challenge to you, and I want you to take this seriously. This week, make one bold move. Reach out to one person who's building something that inspires you. Start one conversation that could change your trajectory. Plant one seed that could grow into your empire. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for the system to recognize your worth. You are the permission. You are the moment. You are the worth. Your soft girl era isn't about doing less, it's about doing what matters. And what matters is you, your peace, your joy, your freedom, your empire, your legacy without guilt, without apology, without explanation. The ladder was never built for you to climb. So stop climbing, start building. Thank you